Hello, I'm Justin, and this is another episode of Adventures in Painting, the Paint Along podcast. That means that you can paint with me, or you can just watch and learn some tips to do in your next painting, or you can just make fun of how I do everything. That's fine too. Let me know how you feel about my painting in the comments below. So are y'all ready to go out on another adventure? This episode is called Crossing the Stream. Last episode was called Crossing the Stream too. That's because that's the name of the painting that we're still working on. And if you'll remember, in the last episode, we ended with just a good amount of color blocking. Let me get everything on here. We did a lot of color blocking. So basically we have all our basic shapes for the main painting. So as you can see, that's the picture that we're gonna do. And here's where we've gotten so far with it. So, I think I'm just gonna dig in somewhere and work on adding values and shades and all different kinds of stuff. Light, shade, colors, and the way I like to paint is now that I have all my basic shapes here, I'll just start edging everything in. So I'll pick somewhere, maybe work on the bridge a little bit more, and I'll show you how I just kind of work everything until I'm happy with it. So let me turn that off. And I've got my picture pulled up on my phone. I do recommend pulling up the source image on a second screen. And I've got my cranberry vodka here. My go-to easy to make drink, because it is extremely easy to make. Alright, so I'm going to work on the bridge just a little bit more. Let me zoom in here. And I think I'm just going to start on this post here. And as you can tell, it's a lot browner than what I have. I started with yellow. That was just the base color. So now we're going to go for some more brown tones to it. So let's get a browner color. You know what? I might cheat just a little bit. And I'm just going to color drop that. That's so fine. It's okay. When you're painting digitally, you can do stuff like that. If you are painting with acrylics or another physical media, you'll have to mix some colors, mix some browns and yellows and white to get it light, a nice light brown. So let me turn this off, and I'm going to get my paintbrush, and we're going to just start doing a better job of this post here. So, and I typically have my opacity down on paintbrush when I'm using my paintbrush. I don't like it just going full blast. Let me show you 100%. It might work out fine actually for this. It's not doing anything because I'm on the wrong. That's not my fault. Actually, it was my fault. I was on the wrong layer. but now I'm not. So I have it on 56%. Not for any particular reason, just somewhere in the middle. And I'm just gonna edge this all the way down. The nice thing is, since my opacity's down, it's going to read the shadows that I put in earlier instead of covering them up, so they're not having to do double work here. Okay, so there's the post. Oops. I'm gonna take my eraser. I'm just gonna take the edge off of that. Oh. Okay, so I'm gonna get the eraser the right size, and then we're gonna do it the correct way, because that's how we like to do things. We like to do things correctly. At the same time, I'm very sloppy in everything I do. And that's just me. But now I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna go back to my paintbrush. Okay, so it's still on 56% opacity. I'm gonna turn it down to 26. And then I'm just gonna go back over it. Just because I felt like it was not dark enough. But now it should be. Alright. So there is the color I think I'm aiming for. Now, does it have to match 100% with this one? No. It does not have to match. I think it's close. I think it looks nice. So I'm gonna move on with my life. I always fix that stuff later. I'm gonna turn the opacity back up to maybe like 60. I'm gonna get a bigger brush, and then we'll do this long bar here. Now I'm not doing, the full digital. It's my painting, my digital painting, at least so far, is sort of a blend between traditional painting and the things that you can do with the digital media. I like Photoshop. I use a drawing tablet that I got a couple years ago, and I personally that's just my preference. I could put borders, just click and drop and borders all over the bridge. Like here, I'll show you what I mean. So I could do, this is a lasso tool. Now I could do this. I could do, it starts here, goes up there a little bit, here. I could do this if I wanted to. And I've done this a lot of times before, but I'm not going to do it on this one. I'm trying to freehand this thing as much as possible. But I could do this. And then all I have to do is take my paintbrush and go shh. Okay, that's kind of cheating. I mean, since I already did it, I'm not going to undo it. But that's just not what I'm trying to do here. I could do it like that. But I'm trying to freehand more. Because that's just how I'm used to doing things. And I think it's good to learn how to freehand things. Yeah, okay, those tools, they're amazing. But it's nice to know how to freehand things too, is my point. There's a post back here. There's a post there. There's that. There's that. Okay. There's that. And I'm gonna leave the actual bridge part of it, I'll leave that a little lighter because the sun's shining pretty strong on it, and it won't have as much shadows as all these posts. So let me finish these posts and then we'll go do that. So how was your day? Mine was interesting. I am a dog groomer, and today I own the salon. I own the dog grooming salon, and it's difficult for me to groom too many dogs in a day because I have so much other stuff I'm doing. So I only groom about two dogs a day. And the first dog was a Keeshon, something like that. And just imagine a big husky with long hair. And it was so packed full of undercoat that it took me 4 hours just to bathe it and try to get all the undercoat out. I'm talking about I had to comb it and special brushes, I can't even go into detail how much work I did to save that dog's coat. And I feel bad because the woman who owns it is like 90. So I know she's not brushing him. Or her. The dog's name was Gracie. And no, I don't believe that the 90-year-old woman is brushing it. I mean, it kind of sucks that the 90-year-old woman chose to get a dog that needs a lot of maintenance and is just not able to do that. But anyway, that's kind of what we deal with. So it looked really nice when I was done. And it was it was beautiful. Okay. So this bridge here, I'm going to do lighter. So kind of like that for the bridge. For the walkway, I guess I should be saying. Alright, so there we go. We got our walkway. Yeah, and then the second dog I groomed is a total nutso. It's one that I actually dread grooming all the time. I hate to say that, but I do. Because the dog, I don't know if there's like something wrong with him in his brain or what, but he is the most hyper. He never settles down. Like, the poor thing, I don't know if he ever rests. He is the most hyper, bombastic dog I have ever met. And he is cute, so, there's that. But try grooming it, is all I gotta say. It's difficult. But he is cute. So that was my day. How was yours? Hopefully you're painting. Or just at least enjoying the painting. Now, I know a lot's not going on right now. It's still a lot of color blocking. I guess I'm addicted to color blocking. I don't know what else to say about it. I color block a lot. So the fun part is when we get into the detail parts. Hopefully you're already having fun. I'm having fun. Let's see. I'm just filling in these little areas a little better with green. And then And then I think we're happy there with the bridge. There's just some things I want to tidy up on the bridge, so I'm going to pause and come. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good about my bridge now. I think it's looking more and more like a bridge every time I do something. And that is just how you should approach painting. Every time you do something, should be looking closer and closer to its finished look. So, here is my bridge. Okay, it's not perfect yet, but we're getting there. So there's that. Let me zoom out all the way so we can see the picture as a whole. Painting as a whole, I think does not look too bad. That's what we're going for. That's what we're going for. And that's where we're at. So we got a long way to go. That's okay because I have all the time that I need. Which is might be forever. So I think we're going to fill in. Okay, here, we'll do something fun. We'll do the where'd it go? We'll do the grass, whatever that is, all the greenery on this hill, and I'll do my dipulation technique that I love to use. So I'll show you that right now. So I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Dipulation. I should probably look that up. Hang on. Okay, wonderful people of the internet. It's actually called stippling. So, stippling is the technique of taking just a bunch of little dots and kind of building up foliage. We're doing, I guess they're shrubs. So we're just gonna do it now. We're gonna we don't want the same color as the background, so we're gonna go a little lighter. And then I'm gonna turn my opacity down to about 60, 59. And I'm gonna brush a smaller brush, about 25 pixels. Okay, so I'm just going to sort of edge out this bush, the line of the bush here that's between the bridge and these trees over here. And I'm just putting a bunch of dots. They're kind of random. They're also kind of intuitively placed based on me looking back and forth between the painting and the source image at the same time. So you just put a bunch of dots, really. Bunch of dots. Okay, as usual, I have not made a new layer. So look, we all learn something. We all learn something every single day. And I just learned that I did not make another layer for all of this, so, and I need to, so I have to start over. Sorry. And we also learned that it's called stippling and not stipulation, which is a completely different word. Okie dokie, so this new layer, I've created a new layer. I'm going to name it shrubs. And then we're just going to go back and do exactly what I did before. So, starting here, I'm going to turn the opacity back up to 83. I just want to edge out this shrub here, so it's between the bridge and the tree. I'm sure you can see it if you're looking at the source image. It goes a little bit in between the trees too. So I do this all the time. This is one of my favorite techniques for foliage, at least. But I also use it for a lot of things. Rocks, trees, even the bark of the trees, I'll end up using it. I'm sure. And I don't know, I just like using it. You might have your own technique. You might have a special brush that just puts a bunch of dots. You can just dip that in there and you could have this done in a flash compared to mine. Well, that's whatever you want to do. If you have some extra time, you can go fix your bridge, which I'm sure does not look too great. Especially if you're not drawing digitally. I'm just kidding. So let me just put in a bunch more dots. Okay, now at least we know what the shape of that shrub is, and that's basically what I needed to know. So it goes all the way down here too. Okay. I mean, there's going to be a lot of dots, and I might even have to cut away every now and then just to finish the dots, because there's no way you can stand here or whatever, lay down, sitting, whatever you're doing, and watch me put all these dots. There's going to be a whole bunch of them, so I might just cut away for a minute and I'll be back. Okay, so I've basically roughed in the entirety of this, this light shrub here. Now, I'm calling it a shrub. I think it's a bunch of tall plants that are actually not all connected. That's fine. For the moment, we're still kind of color blocking, so we're seeing it as one big thing, and then later we'll break it up into whatever it was supposed to be. And that's fine. So this is just one big shrub for now. We're just calling it that. That way, I don't get too hyper-focused on all the little details, because I'm not ready for all the little details right now. You know what I mean? Now, if I go a little darker, let me show you. The one above it, I'm going to call this just one thing. That's a little darker, so when we do it on here, it'll also help our eyes know that it's two different things. So what I'll do is I'll build out the shape, and then I'll cut away and fill it in, and then I'll come back. So there's the shape. Alright, and then I'll fill it in. Okay, and then let's say this area here is brighter than even this area over here. The sun's a lot stronger there. So we're going to go back. We'll pick this color, and then we'll go lighter. Like that. So let me build out. I'm not going to be able to really see it. Let me do something. Hang on, let me make a layer. I'm just going to paint this dark real quick. Excuse me, sorry. I just need to see, thank you. Alright. And then I can delete that later. That's really cool thing about digital painting. I can do all these things and it doesn't make a difference. Okay. I'm just kidding. So, and now I'm on, something's not working. Let me do something that's happening. It does not appear to be painting. Let me figure this out. Okay, I had it on the wrong color. Not my fault, except that it was. And now we will get back to it. I just want to build out. If you're looking at the source image, the well, that's white. Okay, I have screwed up big time. 1 sec. Okay, now we're in business. Hopefully. Yay, there it goes. Okay, so we're gonna draw that line. You know, like I've been trying to do for the past 10 minutes. Not that I'm timing myself or anything. And I'll save you happen to see me fill all that in. So, but there's another, if you look at the source image, there's a break in the shrubbery here. Here's about whatever, and then it goes down this way towards the end of the riverbank, or whatever that thing is. Creek, the edge of the creek. Okay, and then there's a bit more of this up here, and then I'll fill it in. So. Alright. Okay, and then I wanted to go back over this because I just don't feel like it's light enough on my painting. So let me turn that back off. And I'm using this color that I was doing over here, but I'm going to turn the opacity down to about 38. And so what that will do is it'll just make it pop a little better. Let me turn the opacity up a little bit more. And I'm going to fill that in and I'll be back. Okay, so I like that a lot better. And then if we look here, back over here on this side, there's actually a lot of white. Because the sun's just shining really strong right there. So let me turn that back off, and then, so we're just going to put in some, it's not going to be white, it's going to be white with a hint of yellow-green. So not all the way white, but you get it. Alright, so now, basically what I'm doing is just telling the eye where we can define different areas of the painting. And what it also does is allow me to put in, with the stippling, it allows me to put in all of these colors and values, and it's like I'm building it piece by piece, you know what I mean? So it's really white. There's a lot of sun here, so I'm just saying. The sun was shining very bright that day on this area. But as you can see, look, this is what I like about it. It's already starting to look like foliage. Now, is it perfect? No. But it doesn't have to be right now, because we have plenty of time to fix all that. So it comes down here too. And here's the thing, I don't know how many episodes this painting is going to take up, and I don't really care. I'll keep doing this until the painting's done, and then if there's any interest, I'll make more, and we'll do another painting. So I'm not in a rush. Let's see. Now, we did remember, I screwed this tree up. This tree should be like way over here, to the left. Should be over here. But I'm leaving it. And I think I might do something, now that I have such a nice space here, that might be where I add something that changes this up a little bit, because I always do try to change my paintings up a little bit so it's not just like the straight up, just the same as the picture. So I'm actually gonna, here, I don't need this anymore, I don't think. That can go. That can go. Bye. And then, so now I have all these shrubs over here. And there's little trees that I'm ignoring right now, but I can put them in later. We're just building out the shrubs. It's not rocket science. And I need to go a little darker here. And it's not green enough. Okay, that's good. Because in here, it is brighter than this, but not as bright as over here. So that's what's happening. I mean, it does take some time to do all this. That's just part of the process. No, that's fine. We'll get it. We'll get all of it. We don't have to get all of it. That's the thing about painting. You don't have to get all of it. You only need enough to trick the eye. As long as the eye's tricked into thinking something is, a blob of paint is an object, that's all that's necessary. And that's why art is so varied, and there's so many styles, because it doesn't take much to trick the eye, trust me. It does not take much. It takes a certain amount. It takes some effort, but it really does not take a whole bunch to trick the eye into, you know, kind of making it believe that there's a shape, an object there. So those are the shrubs that go back there. And now I'm going to turn, I think I'm just going to turn the, I'm not going to make it darker, I'm just going to turn the opacity down to 29, let's say. Let's try that. And we'll do all this back here. In a way, it is kind of darker by being lighter. Now, figure that one out, because I have no idea. But basically, it's darker by being lighter. By being more transparent, sorry. So there's all that, and there's all that, and then here, I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to break away and fill it in, and then I'll be back. So it's going to go all the way up here. There's actually, if you look at the source image, there's dirt or something up here. Leaves, probably leaves. So we don't need a whole bunch of green all the way up. So hang on, I need to make this a little darker by making it lighter. There. Alright. See? It's all coming together. This really is my favorite part. I love doing the stippling. And I know it's real tedious, but it's kind of like what just makes the painting for me. The way I paint. I know everyone paints differently. But I use so much stippling, and I will continue using it because it's my favorite. Let's see. Alright, so let me break away and I'll finish all this. Okay, and then there's a bunch of shrubs over here too. So I'm going to just blot them in, stipulate them in, if you will. Stipple them in. I'm still learning my own language, okay? I don't know all these art terms. But the good thing is, I don't really have to know all the art terms. We can learn those together. I just use whatever works for me. Okay, so just a bunch of shrubs that way, and then and then kind of up the hill a little bit. This hill has a dark line here that I have not done so far. And okay, so since I have to shift things over, it would be here. So we're just gonna make something up here. So let's darker line here that just kind of, maybe it just goes that way, and that's the top of that rolling hill, and then there's a little bit more of the hill behind it, but this will give it sort of a 3D look. And then what I will do is take the lighter color and just make it more defined behind that dark line or something. Well, that was my intention, but it doesn't always turn out that way. So what I might do is take this really light one and darken it up a little bit and try that. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so hang on, I need to move my mic. I don't know if I was loud enough earlier. I had to move my mic. closer to me, but here we are. Alright, so that is all of that. I'm curious what you're using. Are you doing stippling? Are you just painting in strokes? Like, how do you do it? Leave a comment below. Let me know. Okay. Now, the top of the hill is, like I said, it's like leaves or something. Let me zoom in. Let me zoom in. 1 second. They're like leaves. But from what I can tell, they're very similar to the color in the water. And maybe it's the leaves that have made the water that brown. That's possible. So we're going to use that color. There, and we're just going to, I think I'm gonna lighten it up a little bit. So lighten it up, and then that's what's going on back here. So there's just a bunch of fallen leaves. Now, if you're using acrylics, I know that you can add white to lighten it up. And you can you know, you're so limited to what you can do with acrylics. But anyway, not that I'm knocking it. But there's just a bunch of fallen leaves up here. And there's actually some kind of little here and there. Around here. There's some around this tree. Okay, so you can look at the source image, and anywhere that you see fallen leaves, go ahead and add them in, or you can put them in wherever you want. Maybe make something up. Maybe some leaves fell over here. I'm not going to do it, but if you want to, go right ahead. I am just going to stick to how the picture is for now. Okay. That thick line is bothering me. That needs to go. So, how do I get rid of that? Alright, so it's on that layer. Yeah, just 1 second. That thick line needs to go. And that's not the way to do it, so plan B is to be a little bit more precise. I'm using my smudge tool, not the eraser, but the smudge tool. But you can use the eraser. I don't care what you do. You can do whatever you want, however you do it. No one's gonna judge. Unless you ask for critique, and then you gotta be ready for what you hear. Yeah. But that's okay, because that's how we grow and learn and all that fun stuff that we're here for. Okay, I don't know what's going on behind the hill. It's kind of bothering me. I would like... There's a bunch of trees behind the hill, or on top of the hill, whatever. It's a bunch of trees, but right now, this is bothering me, so let me fix it. Okay, I just had to fix that background because it was hurting my eyes. Alright, so I think what we might do, now we're not done with the shrubbery, but I'm the kind of person, I just bounce around. So if you don't want to bounce around, you can go ahead, be my guest, keep working on those stipple dots. But I am going to probably do some more trees back here. They're just long brown lines, so it's going to be tedious. So at some point you're going to have to do something tedious. You can either do the stipple dots on the grass or the trees, and vice versa, whatever and whenever you feel like. Alright, so I'm going to do the trees. It's just a bunch of lines. Right now, really thin lines for the ones I'm doing here. Let's see, we'll do one here, like that. That was really not that accurate, but you don't have to go for complete accuracy. It's fine. That was so inaccurate, though, that I'm going to take it back off. Now, it's more like that. My bad. And then right there. And honestly, it's just like all over the place. Tree after tree after tree after tree after tree. And they, like I said, they don't have to be perfect. If you want, I mean, you can make them perfect if you want. It takes a lot of work. You can do whatever you want. I'm not gonna say I'm lazy, but there's some things that you can cut corners on and it's okay. Nobody's gonna care. That's just my opinion. I'm not a perfectionist, so that could be something that I should talk to my therapist about. But I just don't go for perfection on everything. Typically, what you want perfect is the stuff in the foreground. Stuff in the background, it's going to be okay, I promise. It's just going to be fine. They're just trees. You can always erase them or paint over them or whatever it is that works for you. Now, my advice, you should do them all up, straight, and down. Trees don't typically grow straight up and down. That will put you in cartoony land real quick. Okay, that's okay. If you want to draw cartoons, draw them straight up and down, and some crooked ones. But typically, trees are not straight. For the most part, they lean. They grow different directions. So like straight for a while, and then branch off, and then straight, maybe straight. Anyway, they're trees. And sometimes they have a mind of their own. You should think about that next time you waste paper. That's evil. Never ever waste paper. Because these trees... Oh no. Well, let me figure out why it's doing that. Hang on. Is it my... Okay, so now it's fine. These trees have lived long enough for someone to take a picture of them, and then we just cut them down. It's not right. I'm really joking. I know that we need paper. Just don't waste it. That's my point. I don't like seeing paper wasted. I waste paper all the time. I feel bad for it. But, you know, it's just something we need to be more aware of. That's my point. So these are the trees. There's a lot more. I don't think I'm going to do them all. At some point, it's just too crowded. And I'm not going for photorealism either. If you want to go for photorealism, I would suggest taking it inch by inch, centimeter by centimeter, and just make sure you have every single tree and every single bush and leaf and everything. That's fine. If you want photorealism, go ahead. I'm not going to do it on this channel. Just because, for one thing, it takes forever. So, I'm good. So let's see. I don't know where I have these foreground trees. I might be screwed here. Don't screw it. Don't screw me. I guess it's right here. So I just wanted to outline those trees a little better. So now I have my layer for trees. And no, this. Okay, so this thing hates me. Sometimes the program just does not like me. Sometimes it's my fault. In this case, it was my fault. I'm going to turn the opacity down to 17. And I'm just taking that darker so it can outline better. I went a little too far out, but that's okay. And we're just gonna, I'm looking at the picture. I'm seeing where it's dark. I'm taking those areas dark. I might be overstepping my boundaries a little bit, but that's okay. It's art. And I just wanted to outline those a little better so they don't look like a crayon came by and scribbled on my digital painting. You know, and if you are coloring your crayons, that's fine too. That's perfectly fine media to use. I would prefer acrylics myself, but you can do it with crayons. I don't care. It's not going to bother me. I need my opacity up just a little bit. By the way, I ran out of cranberry juice, so I had to switch to Pepsi and vodka because it's all I have on the fly, and that's fine. I'm not too picky about what I drink as long as I have something to drink while I paint. So the more you know, the more you grow. Now this tree here has this limb that goes up like this. It's kind of shaky, and then it hooks down again. I have no idea why it has that, but it does, and that's kind of cool. I'm gonna move that layer. Okay, so it's kind of like shaky a little bit, and then it comes back. That's a limb. Let's say it grew kind of strange. Here's a limb going up that way. I'm going to turn my opacity back down now. And I'm just filling in sort of roughing out the edges, some of the dark spots inside. The tree is clearly, if you look at the source image, it's a lot lighter than what I have it right now, but we haven't got to that part yet. Stop rushing me. Alright, so there's the tree. There's some trees. This tree, it looks a little sad, but I kind of like it. You know, I've always liked trees that grow strange. I just feel like they've led a different lifestyle. And then back here, I don't know why I did that. Back here, there's another dark, no, this is real skinny. Can I just make it skinny? There's a dark tree. It seems to end about here, so then it kind Okay. It's not dark enough. I need to turn my opacity up or whatever to 65. And I'm just going to draw this out real quick. It kind of has this little number, and then it goes, and then it goes, and then it goes down. And then there's one beside it that goes, and then that kind of goes. And then there's one that's real different. I think it had a rougher life. It goes. Alright, well, we're going to leave it there. So, for the next episode, we'll probably do some more of the water, more of the bridge. There's still a lot more work to do back here in the background, with the trees. And we haven't even touched this on this side yet, so there's still plenty more to do. Now, I think I'm going to give you some homework. So by the time we get back with episode 3, if you've been painting along, go ahead and take your source image and just do a shrubbery around here. Just keep working on that. More dots, or maybe you have another technique that you use. Do the trees. Draw more trees if you think that there should be more trees in the background. Just don't touch the water, the bridge, or this side. And eventually we'll go back and do that sky too. So if you are painting in acrylics, you might want to do the sky now and then paint the trees back over it. Or leave out the sky. That's fine too. I don't care. I do appreciate you watching along. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And leave a comment too, especially if you've been painting along. I'd love to see your painting. So, this has been Adventures in Painting, Episode 2. I'm Justin, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.